starting off with the East, fourth seed, 15th overall, one shy of worst in the conference, the New York Jets, picking up 2-15. I mean, we're not different on this, right? This is the same thing. I'm hoping because you gave me a look.
I gave him 3 wins.
Okay, regardless, they're in last place on the division. This isn't a super talented team. Justin Fields manning the helm for the whole season, or who knows how long, or Tyrod Taylor comes in and tries to take the starting position. Who knows at this point? The offensive line they've done a lot of work with, so I actually do like the offensive line quite a bit, unlike years past. Olu Fashanu, John Simpson, Joe Tippmann, Elijah Vera Tucker, and then they used their first round pick on a right tackle out of Mizzou. So it's a talented offensive line that all comes together, which I do think that this line will come together pretty well to give some sort of protection for Justin Fields / Tyrod Taylor. Still going to say that. But overall, it's just I'm not a big believer in this team. Even if it was Aaron Rodgers manning the helm, it doesn't matter. I'm not a believer in the team at all. But you have them at 2 extra wins. Is there any particular reason for that?
I just think that we saw Justin play pretty well last year at times. And I think Garrett
Sure.
Wilson is a baller. I do put Garrett Wilson in that Chris Olave category where I think teams are going to be blowing up the phone to see if they can get him out of there because
Yep.
their path is not anywhere soon. But yeah, I think it just comes down to, you know, the way the schedule shaked out. I don't expect them to be very good this year. So I got them at 15th at 3-14.
Yep, we got them at the same place. Just you have them at one more, or sorry, yeah, just one more win because I got them at 2-15. So, yeah, and it sucks because the Jets have done a decent job building the team from the trenches because their defensive line is pretty good too. Will McDonald, Quinnen Williams, Jermaine Johnson. It's a talented defensive line and talented offensive line. It's just the surrounding pieces aren't all going to be coming together, especially you don't really have your quarterback spot fully filled out yet. So, and yeah, a lot of it does come down to that division too. I mean, you're playing the AFC North, so you're not going to have a fun time doing that. Do you want to move on to third place? Because I'm really curious to see who you have at third place because you keep looking at me over and over again.
I just, based off of the way you had Dolphins drop games, we are not in accordance to the situation on the Dolphins schedule. So in the 13th place in the conference, I have the New England Patriots. They only pick up one more win than the New York Jets, and they go 4-13.
I think New England is a significantly better team than last year. Everything comes down to coaching staff, the people they brought in, and for me, Miami did nothing. What did Miami do? Truly, their offensive line was horrible. You have questions surrounding your star wide receiver. You don't know if your quarterback is going to stay healthy at all. Oh, don't worry, Zach Wilson will come in and play. So I guess we have something there. Or Quinn Ewers is cool. But the team isn't that talented to me. I'm not putting my money on these guys, and I have them at 6-11 at the 10th seed, at third place in the division. Like I said,
I like Mike McDaniels, man.
I know, yeah, you do like Mike McDaniels. You like anyone who comes out of San Francisco. That
They're
tree
all
is definitely
ballers. Who's wrong?
yeah,
You just were talking about Green Bay's head coach
No,
just a
absolutely.
few minutes ago.
No, I'm with you. It's just Miami. There's a lot of questions surrounding them, and they didn't do anything. And you can't do anything when you don't have any goddamn cap space. So what are you gonna do?
Hey,
I don't know.
Is Tyreek Hill still fast?
He is for the meantime.
Is Devon Achane still fast?
If he's healthy.
They started like me at quarterback last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were high on them last year. What's changed except for their quarterback's healthy? Let me ask you this. If I told you that Tua Tagovailoa played every single game this year for them, do you give them more wins?
Yeah, here, but we can go through it. I have them winning week 1, winning week 2, losing week 3.
Nope.
Winning week 4.
I'm just kidding. Keep going.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yep,
I'm like,
we're
well.
good. So you have them losing to the Panthers because you're on that good pack.
Yep. So I would give them week 5 against the Panthers. They would still lose week 6.
Yep.
They would win week 7 still.
Yep.
I'd keep week 8 them losing.
Okay. So far we're different on the Falcons and the fucking Panthers. Keep going.
They still lose on the Ravens. They still lose against the Bills. They still lose against the Commanders. Go into their bye week and they pick up a win against the Saints.
Yep.
I had them losing against the Jets.
They could easily win that game, clearly.
They could easily win that game. Winning against the Steelers, losing against the Bengals, but that one could swing as well just because of that Bengals defense. Losing against Tampa Bay and losing against New England.
So ultimately, I have them beating the Patriots in Week 18. I have them beating the Falcons, and I have them beating the Panthers. That's the difference in us right now. So
yeah,
I guess we're not all that far away because all 3 of those games were not like vividly different on that.
Right. Yep. No,
I have them at 10-7, so it's quite a bit of a difference in where you're at. So,
and where do you have the Patriots
10-7
again?
Missing the playoffs at 10.
And where do you have the Patriots again?
4-13
record wise. 4-13. Okay, weird.
I just think the only thing, like, you're giving them a huge coaching bump, which is fine, and then Stephon Diggs. Or, it's not all that different than just believing in Kendrick Bourne and Jalen Polk. And I like Polk, man legend, but Kendrick Bourne.
I think that their wide receiver core did get better. Stephon Diggs, Matt Collins is a better core than Polk and Javon Baker. And then they draft Kyle Williams, who's going to play in the slot primarily. Will Campbell comes in. You also bring in Garrett Bradbury. Morgan Moses is a temporary slide-in swing tackle that's going to protect his right-hand side. Hunter Henry is still out there. Austin Hooper is still out there. And obviously Drake May gets a second year in development. Henderson is speed that they drafted for the running back position. Obviously, they still have Ramondre Stevenson that's going to end up starting for the whole year. Milton Williams is going to end up starting for them, so it's more significant for them to add Milton Williams than for Philly to lose Milton Williams because Milton Williams is DT3 compared to Milton Williams being DT1 in New England. You also get a bump for Harold Landry and Carlton Davis because their cornerback group wasn't that good. So you're bringing in more at the end of the day. You're bringing in more and you're bringing in better talent. Your groups got better. And on top of it, your coaching got better. I think that it's not enough to make the playoffs. It's enough to be the second seed in this division and to miss the playoffs. And for me, I have them at 10-7.
Well, I'll tell you this, just looking at their schedule, I have them losing to the Jets twice. That's probably not going to happen. I just wasn't, caring about the Patriots. So, if they switch those, that brings them to 6-11. And then I have them losing to the Dolphins twice because I believe in the Dolphins. So if they split that, they're now 7-10. And then there's games out there against the Browns. There's a game against the Falcons, I guess, that could be iffy for them. So there's a game against the Steelers. I gave the Steelers that win. So there's not too many. It's Mike Tomlin, bro. I'm going to trust him over whatever the Patriots are cooking up. So the path for the Patriots to dramatically go from 4 wins to 9 wins in my schedule isn't that crazy. So they were so awful last year, and I was a proponent all year. Like, why are you playing this dude? Why are you playing him? Like, you're just ruining him right now. But, just like I said with the Bears, you can throw everything out right now for the Patriots because, their coaching staff was so god-awful last year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I guess, to me, I just don't think the schedule is too difficult. Winning against Las Vegas, losing against Miami, winning against Pittsburgh, losing against Carolina, losing against Buffalo, then picking up wins three weeks in a row against New Orleans, Tennessee, and the Browns, losing against the Falcons, losing against Tampa Bay, and then picking up wins against the Jets, losing on Cincinnati, winning against the Giants, picking up a win against Buffalo, losing against Baltimore, winning against the Jets. And then I definitely would give the win to New England week 18 in New England against Miami. That just feels like a guaranteed win. Miami is not going to come into a snowy, cold place and win against a team that's going to be built to run the ball. It's just not going to happen. Miami's not going to win that game.
They figured out the snow.
How's that?
I don't know. I'm just hoping they have.
That's you know I so I text my dad this schedule, right? And he goes, "They're not going to win 10 games." Or no, and I was like, "Why?" And he goes, "I don't know, because I said so." And I was like, "Okay, sure, whatever." I was
The,
hoping for something a little bit more.
the Dallas Taylor logic.
Well, at least he was honest.
I
was
mean,
like, okay,
he
cool.
probably has the Cowboys winning 15 games this year, right?
Well, he was happy with 10-7 originally making the playoffs, and I was like, I bumped it down to 9-8 missing, and he was like, "That's not gonna happen." I was like, "Okay, well, sure." I don't know. I don't know to tell you that, dude. Well, the number one seed for this for this division is no surprise to anyone. The Buffalo Bills. I had this team originally winning 17 games, 17-0.
Let's go. Oh.
I dropped him down to 15-2.
Hashtag Josh Allen out of Fireball, California. Who do you got their 2 losses coming against? Because I had him 15-2 as well.
Philly week 17 and New England week 15. It's an interdivision, and then Philly just feels like it feels like Philly coming into Buffalo is a little weird, but they're built and equipped for any type of weather. So I think they'll be perfectly fine to pick up a win there. And I think you have them beating Philly, don't you?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
Oh, you
they're
do.
beating
Okay.
Philly. Yeah, I have them
Okay.
losing week 1 to the Ravens because I just think that's fun, and then winning
Okay.
going 13-1 after that, and then I just have them losing to the Bengals in week 14.
Yeah. So just like a random, division game, cool. We're gonna throw another one on there. That's kind of where I came to my conclusions too.
It's honestly just because I think the Bengals can put up 50 points in a game this season. Like, the offense is just going to be electric. And
Yep.
as much as I love Josh Allen, everybody knows I love Josh Allen. He's prone to, this could be the game where he has to keep up with the Bengals and their offensive talent. And he puts them in the defensive hand a couple times because he can do that every once in a while. So. But yeah, 15-2 winning the conference. First round bye.
And yeah, absolutely.